How much of your day is spent trying to impress someone who probably doesn't even notice? The truth is harsh, but it's freeing. The more you seek approval, the more you abandon yourself. In this video, we'll explore 4 ancient Stoic tactics that will help you destroy the need for validation and reclaim your power. Lesson 1. Detach from the illusion of praise. Praise feels good, but it's a drug. One compliment, and we're hooked, chasing more, needing more. And like any drug, the high fades quickly and leaves you emptier than before. Think about it. You post a picture. You didn't even want to at first, but you thought, what if it gets some attention? Then it does. 112 likes, a few fire emojis, a DM. For a moment, you feel seen, admired, even respected. But the next morning, the post is buried, forgotten. Now, 112 feels small. You open your feed and someone else has 3,000 likes on something careless, effortless. And suddenly, your win doesn't feel like a win anymore. So what do? You tweak your next post, choose better lighting, rephrase the caption. You shift your tone, your style, yourself, all for invisible approval. Without realizing it, you've outsourced your identity to the algorithm. You're not living, you're performing. The Stoics saw this trap before social media even existed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We love ourselves more than others, but care more about their opinions than our own." It's a paradox. We are born with instinctive self-preservation, yet we constantly betray ourselves for the fleeting approval of people who don't even know us. And it's not just online. Maybe you're in a meeting and you withhold your idea because you're afraid of how it will be received. Or you laugh at a joke you don't find funny, just to avoid standing out. These micro-concessions build up, and one day, you realize you've become a ghost of who you once were. Someone edited for the comfort of others. The Stoics believed this was a form of slavery, not to chains, but to praise. Here's the truth they taught. You must learn to separate what feels good from what makes you good. Praise is not proof of virtue. Silence is not proof of failure. Applause is not truth. Epictetus reminded his students, if you wish to progress, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. Why? Because the moment you stop seeking applause, your actions become pure. You're no longer performing, you're practicing. You live by principle, not by performance. And that is where true freedom begins. Ask yourself this: would I still do this, say this, post this, if no one ever noticed? If the answer is no, you're not living, you're marketing. The Stoic path leads you inward, to values, not validation, to meaning, not metrics, to self-respect, not social approval. You will never find peace by chasing validation, but you will find power the moment you stop needing it. Lesson 2. Reframe rejection as strength training for the soul. Rejection hurts, but it doesn't have to harm you. What if instead of taking it personally, you treated rejection like a workout for the soul? The Stoics believed rejection was not a curse, but a gift, a test, a mirror, a sacred moment that reveals whether you're built on the approval of others or rooted in your own principles. Epictetus once said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." It sounds too simple, but that's the beauty of Stoicism. It's not about pretending things don't affect you. It's about refusing to hand over the power to define you. Think about a time you were ghosted. You texted, you waited, nothing. Days go by. Your mind spins stories. Did I say something wrong? Was I not good enough? But what if it wasn't about you at all? What if they were dealing with their own chaos, or weren't ready, or just didn't know how to communicate? The truth is, most rejection is not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their filters. But if you rely on external signals to feel valid, rejection becomes a knife. It cuts into your identity, and every scar whispers the same lie: you're not enough. That's why Stoicism flips the script. Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them." You're not hurt by the silence. You're hurt by what you told yourself it meant. Here's the truth. Rejection is not a verdict. It's resistance. And resistance, when embraced, builds strength. Go to the gym. What do? You add weight. You seek out resistance. Because you know resistance is how muscles grow. Rejection works the same way. Every no, every dismissal, every closed door is a rep for your soul. It trains you to stop outsourcing your self-worth. It teaches you that value is something you cultivate within, not something you're handed from the outside. And the more you endure rejection without folding, the more unshakable you become. So next time it happens, don't spiral. Don't self-destruct. Just smile. Say, "Thank you," because you didn't get weaker. You got sharper, stronger, closer to becoming unbreakable. Lesson 3. Shift your focus from impression to integrity. Approval seeking is a subtle form of slavery, because when your attention is trapped by how you're seen, you lose sight of who you are. You're at a party. Someone mentions a topic you know nothing about. But instead of asking questions, you nod along, pretending to understand. Why? Because admitting ignorance feels risky. Or you're at work. You overpromise on a task just to seem capable, even though you're already stretched thin. Why? Because you want to appear impressive. These moments seem small, but they're not. Every time you choose image over integrity, you chip away at your center. The Stoics called this fragmentation, a slow decay of the soul. And it happens when you outsource your compass to other people's eyes. Marcus Aurelius warned against this. How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only at what he does himself. In a world obsessed with optics, Stoicism is radical. It tells you, stop performing, start practicing. Integrity isn't glamorous. It won't get you applause, but it gives you something stronger. Peace. Peace because you no longer have to remember who you pretended to be. Peace because you are finally aligned. What you say, what you do, and who you are, all pointing in the same direction. And here's the paradox. The more you try to look good, the more you betray what's actually good. But the moment you stop trying to be impressive and start being integrated, you become magnetic. You don't need attention when you have clarity. You don't need applause when you have alignment. And you don't need approval when you have integrity. So let this be your new question. Not, do they like me? But, was I honest? Was I brave? Was I principled even when no one was watching? Because that's the Stoic measure of a man. Not how he's seen, but who he becomes in silence. Lesson 4. Build your identity on virtue, not visibility. The root of approval addiction is a fragile identity. If who you are depends on who sees you, you'll always be at their mercy. You'll adjust your voice depending on who's in the room. You'll post what gets attention, not what reflects truth. You'll twist your opinions so they land softer, more likable, more acceptable, until one day, you're unrecognizable to yourself. That's the cost of visibility without virtue. And it's steep. We live in a world obsessed with optics, likes, metrics, algorithms. Every move becomes a performance. An identity becomes a mask, curated, filtered, audience tested. The Stoics rejected all of it. They believed that who you are when no one's watching, that's the real you. That's your character. That's your soul. Epictetus put it plainly. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. When your self-worth hinges on the reaction of others, you become emotionally unstable. One compliment lifts you. One insult destroys you. You swing from confidence to collapse, depending on the weather of opinion. But if you root yourself in virtue, in who you are, not how you're seen, you stop swinging. You become steady. You become sovereign. Think about this. No one has to like you for you to be disciplined. No one has to notice your honesty for it to matter. No one needs to approve your effort for it to be worthy. Virtue is self-contained. It doesn't need an audience. It's the quiet fire inside you that refuses to go out, no matter how loud the world gets. You stop asking, do they see me? And you start asking, did I act with honor? Did I stay grounded? Did I show up for what I believe in, even when no one clapped? Because when you build your identity on virtue, your worth becomes unshakable. No praise inflates it. No criticism dents it. You become whole, not because others validate you, but because you validate yourself through action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." That's not just ancient wisdom. It's a rebellion against a world addicted to attention. So let them scroll past. Let them overlook you. Let them misunderstand who you are. When you live by virtue, you don't need to be seen to be valuable. You don't need to be praised to be powerful, because your identity isn't rented. It's earned, owned, untouchable. That's the Stoic way. Not louder, truer, not noticed, anchored. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to become someone you would respect in silence. Most people live their entire lives trying to be liked. A few choose something harder, something quieter. They choose to be whole. The Stoics didn't want attention. They wanted freedom. And that freedom comes the moment you stop asking, who approves of me? And start asking, what do I stand for? So ask yourself now, if no one ever clapped, would you still live this way? Because in the end, the goal is not to be followed. The goal is to be free.